It continues to be another great week for Xtreme Trader Forex Signals service. Regardless if you are a premium member or a free signals user, you have made profit with our signals regardless which member or which group you are actually part of. As you can see, these are the signals which we have sent this week so far on the premium group, and tell me you don't want to be part of this profits, my friends. Yes, indeed. This week we have made a total of so far 510 pips of profit. Of course, my friends, that is the total number of pips have made from these signals. Some other members have actually made much more than that because they are opening multiple trades for each signal, and some of them have actually made, of course, less than that because they are actually not opening every single signal that we are sending out. So as a member in the premium group, you could have actually made about 100 pips only out of this 510, or you could have made 3000 pips. Of course, it depends on how you have used these signals. In the end, Xtreme Trader Forex Signal Service is just a Forex signals. It's not a funds management. So most likely you did not get the same number of pips, but that is exactly what we have gotten, including all the take profit levels that we have sent out. Check out these profits, my friends. All of the signals thankfully have went in the profit. This entire week, we had just these two small losses so far. Meanwhile, as we can see, it continues to be another great week full of profits, and I'm very happy and very proud of our results. Of course, we have sent out these signals as well. So far, only the pound USD have made the take profit number 1. We are waiting to see what will gonna happen with the remaining signals. But however, I'm very proud and I'm very happy with our work, and I think Xtreme Trader is continuing to be one of the best Forex signals providers in the world. So of course, if you wish to join Xtreme Trader Forex Signals group, please contact our support. You can find their contact details in the description below this video. Contact them today and hopefully we will see you there. Okay, so let's now begin with the late week analysis video. And by the way, my friends, I had to release the midweek analysis video on Monday because on Monday morning, actually, most of the signals which I have sent has either become invalid or reached the take profit level without touching our sell or buy level. And I just thought it's not possible to leave the channel empty like that from Saturday till Wednesday without any content. And of course, the video itself has become useless since most of these signals are no longer useful. That's the reason I had to release the midweek analysis video as soon as possible. So let's see now what we can do next for the remaining days of this week. And of course, we will start with the Euro USD. Oh my goodness, I deleted the signal without analyzing it first. Anyway, it's okay. Actually, for the Euro USD, my friends, we are still going to maintain a sell order for this pair. Actually, in my opinion, the Euro USD is still going to continue to be bearish for the remaining days of this week. Now, considering on the daily chart, we are still facing the previous support level right here. Exactly, at 1.00301. And of course, as I have mentioned earlier, this is the right way to draw your support line in a way that this horizontal line is actually touching every single tail in the pattern of the support. So as you can see, this line here is touching this the smallest tail right here in that bearish breakout candle, and check out what's happening. The Euro USD is indeed struggling to break out from that level of a resistance. So meaning the market most likely is actually going to continue the fall. And as I have mentioned earlier last Saturday, the Euro USD is surely going to continue the fall toward this strong key support level on the monthly chart at 0.96947, which means the Euro USD still has more than 300 pips more to go. Alright, so after confirming the direction on the daily chart, let's move to the 4-hour time frame. I need to back to the daily chart just to draw here the support line in a very accurate way, and now go back to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, what we can see right here, my friends, is simply like that. We need to draw here the resistance trend line just like this. And this is of course my strategy which I am offering for free on my channel, which called the magic of trend lines. What you need to do is simply draw here the resistance trend line and just simply drag it all the way like this till it matches the nearest strong key resistance level of a resistance trend line. Of course, my friends, no need to mention this was a support trend line. This was another support trend line. After the bearish breakout, it has become another resistance trend line. So right now we can expect actually from the Euro USD to reach this level as a resistance trend line. It's gonna be the second attempt of the resistance trend line, and afterward it's gonna continue the fall. So again, the bearish movement is much stronger right now for the Euro USD, and there is actually a chance or a possibility that the market might continue the fall instantly without reaching this level. We are just aiming for the best level possible, but of course I need to remind you that we can also draw here a zone like that. Of course, resistance and support trend lines can also be drawn as zones. The zone usually for the traders is just support, is just a horizontal support and resistance, but it actually also on a resistance, or sorry, on a trend lines level. So we can actually say that this is actually the resistance trend line zone, as we can see. So we are actually going to start shorting the Euro USD right from the peak of that resistance right here at, let me just be sure exactly right here at 1.00547, which means we can start shorting it after it rises to another 30 pips. And of course, the safe zone should be actually ranging right here till the peak of that support level at 1.01200. As I mentioned earlier, this is a resistance trend line zone, so meaning the market might actually be ranging inside this zone before finally becomes in profit. So let me now write the signal for you. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the Euro USD. Again, I forgot to mention that the take profit level is going to be right here, the lowest level of the support at 0.99105, which means we are aiming approximately 144 pips. Meanwhile, the edge of the safe zone will be ranging for about 65 pips. That's everything for this pair. Let's now move to the pound USD. Okay, so of course the pound USD has reached already the take profit level, but sadly did not trigger our sell area. Let me now get rid of the old signal, and let's see now what we can do next with the pound USD. So let's of course move to the daily chart. Now the daily chart shows us a very strong bearish momentum. If I go now to the weekly chart, however, we can notice that the pound USD has actually managed to break out from that long-term support at 1.16666. I don't know how there is any shorter way to spell that. Anyway, if we go now to the 4-hour time frame, we can see clearly that we had here a strong support level exactly right here at 1.16528. And as we can see right now, the market has indeed managed to create a new resistance right here on the same level of the previous support. But does it mean that the pound USD is going to continue the fall right from that level of a resistance? I highly doubt that. Let me just tell you why. Because right here, we're having actually, my friends, a real level of a resistance. Let me just show you. Here we are having a real level of a resistance, a false breakout, another false breakout, meaning we have here in general a false breakout, so meaning that level of a resistance has actually been respected again. So in general, I'm expecting actually from the pound USD to continue the rise again to reach the same level of that resistance at 1.16849, and from that level it's going to create the resistance number 2, and then we can start actually shorting the pound USD after it rises for another 56 pips. Of course, there is another way to confirm this is by simply draw here a resistance trend line, and we can check out that the market must actually not like this, sorry. I need to be specific. I need to be specific in my trades, in my in the way I draw the resistance trend lines. Let me just be more accurate, my friends. And exactly just like that. We are going to ignore the false or the fake breakouts. Pay attention. The market has reversed from that level of a resistance trend line, and then we had here a false breakout, and again real level of a resistance trend line, and again real level of a resistance trend line, false breakout, then real level of a resistance trend line. So now it seems like the pound USD is actually facing some pressure right here on that level of a support at 1.16130. We can expect actually from the pound USD to continue the rise again, reaching the same level of that resistance and also hit the same level of a resistance trend line, and from that point we can start shorting the pound USD again. Now the question is the take profit level. The take profit level, my friends, is going to be placed just right here at the lowest level of the market where it has already reversed from, at 1.15977, which means we are aiming approximately 88 pips profit from this signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging higher than this level of a real resistance as well, at 1.17283, which means the edge of the safe zone is going to be ranging till only 40 pips. Meanwhile, the take profit level is going to be approximately, I would say, 90 pips. And there goes the signal, my friends, for the pound USD. Let's now move to the AUD USD, which I'm very proud of. The market has reversed exactly from the level I have mentioned to start shorting, and it went all the way to the take profit level, making more than 100 pips of profit. I really hope you guys have taken this signal and have enjoyed these profits. Anyway, let's now see what we can do next with the with the AUD USD. In fact, actually, I think the AUD USD is still going to continue the fall. Now, what we can see right here is indeed a support trend line. But the market is actually facing a very strong key resistance level right here at 68878. Pay attention. That level of a resistance has already become a support for several attempts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we had here a false breakout, but the market has indeed managed finally to break out from that level of a previous support and created the first strong resistance level at 0.68878. That was the first attempt of a resistance, which, by the way, confirms also the resistance trend line level right here. As we can see, this is of course the right way to draw the resistance trend line, from the peak of that resistance trend line, then a false breakout, then again a resistance trend line, false breakout, and again the market has respected that level as a resistance trend line again. So now, upon the pressure from that supported trend line, I'm expecting from the AUD USD to actually continue the rise to reach the same level of that resistance, which was in the past a very strong key support level, as we can see right here, and it was a strong key resistance level. So most likely the market is going to respect that level as a resistance because it has already respected that level once. So we are going to start shorting the AUD USD right on the second attempt of the resistance, which, by the way, might break out from that level of a support trend line upon the pressure from that resistance and, of course, from that resistance trend line. And by the way, the false breakouts right here confirming for us the direction of the market. Since we are seeing here two fake breakouts from that level of a resistance trend line, it usually confirms that the buyers have actually made a very serious attempt to break out from the market and to continue the rise with it. But of course, the bears had another word, and they have actually controlled the market by forcing the market to go back below that level of resistance, not only once but twice. So therefore, I believe shorting the AUD USD at 0.68878 is going to be a right decision. And of course, the safe zone will be ranging till the peak of the resistance where we have originally started shorting the market, which means the safe zone will be ranging for about 60 pips. Meanwhile, the take profit level, of course, has to be placed right here at the real level of a support at 0.67690, because, my friends, we're having here a real level of a support, then a false breakout. So most likely AUD USD is going toward that level of a real support in general. And of course, on the bigger picture, we will be having inverted head and shoulders. So that being said, let me now write the signal for you. And there goes the signal, my friends, for the AUD USD. Let's now move to the USD CAD. And by the way, I forgot to mention that the take profit level is going to be approximately 118 pips, meanwhile a safe zone of 60 pips. Anyway, moving now to the USD CAD. I'm very proud, of course, of this signal. It has reversed exactly and precisely from what I have mentioned to start shorting. That was a perfect signal with a zero drawdown. And as you can see, the market has reversed for about 141 pips. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this signal and have made tons of profits. Anyway, let's see now what we can do next with the USD CAD. Okay, so going now to the daily chart. Now, the USD CAD has actually faced a pressure from that strong resistance at 1.31363. But does it mean that we can start shorting the USD CAD? I highly doubt it. Actually, my friends, let's go to the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, the USD CAD has actually managed to break out from that real level of a resistance at 1.30786. The market has actually broke out of it by 41 pips so far. And remember, I'm on the weekly chart. So most likely, that's how the candle is going to be closing. And we can actually look at the left side and we can notice right here that the market has indeed managed to create here a very strong key support level exactly right here at 1.30410. That's actually, my friends, a very strong key support level. And seeing this strong bullish breakout candle, we can actually assume that the market most likely is going to continue the fall, and that level, of course, of a support is going to be respected, and the market will continue the rise based on the help or assist from that support right here. Now, of course, I'm analyzing this on the weekly chart. We need to go right now to the to the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour time frame will give us more accurate entries. Of course, I cannot give you a signal to start buying right from that level of a resistance. Or a previous support. That's not how it works. So on the weekly chart, we have seen, I would say, the plot. Not really. We have seen the direction of the market, but right now on the 4-hour time frame, we can be sure where exactly we can start buying the USD CAD. So of course, if I just zoomed out like this, and I look at the left, zoom out to the left, now zoom in right here. And of course, as we can see, this is, my friends, the real level of a support right here, which has been created since 2 years. Now the market has finally managed to break out from that level of a very long-term support. And as we can see, that level of a support has become a real level of a resistance right here. And in the middle, we had here this one fake breakout. And again, the same level of a real resistance has been respected again, as we can see right here. And of course, not to mention, as I have told you earlier, that level of a support has been respected, as we can see right here, which means the market has indeed managed to retest the broken resistance at 1.30697, which means most likely we have to wait for the market to fall for another 53 pips before we can start buying it again, right on the second attempt of the support. And of course, if that happens, the target, my friends, has to be right here, the highest level of the resistance at 1.32225. So that's actually going to be our take profit level, exactly right here, which means we are aiming approximately 151 pips of profit. Meanwhile, the edge of the safe zone shouldn't actually be ranging lower than the previous level of a resistance right here at 1.30174, which means the edge of the safe zone is ranging for about 51 pips. Meanwhile, the take profit level is 150 pips. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the USD CAD. Let's now move to the USD JPY. And of course, for the USD JPY, I believe that nothing can be changed about this signal. It just remains the same. The market is ranging actually just a little bit above our buy level, and we can see that the market has reversed just like 5 pips before reaching it. But I still believe upon the pressure from that resistance right here at 138.853, the market is still going to be ranging on that level of a resistance, and eventually is going to enter our real level of a support, where we are planning to start buying the USD JPY, and eventually, hopefully, of course, it will continue rising till it reaches the take profit level at 139.375. I think I told you earlier this week that the USD JPY is most likely going to be ranging on this level for this week. I'm not expecting much volatility on this pair, but however, that's how I'm expecting from the pair to be moving by. So therefore, nothing changes for the USD JPY. It remains the same. Now moving to the USD CHF. USD CHF, and I'm very happy about this signal. It has reversed also from what I have mentioned on the last midweek analysis, and it has went all the way to the take profit level, making more than 118 pips of profit. How cool is that? Guys, please let me know in the comments, did you guys make these profits or not? Am I here just sending signals for nobody? Guys, please, I want to know if you have actually made some decent profit from these signals. I will be very happy to know that. Anyway, let me now see what we can do next with the USD CHF. Actually, my friends, I hope I'm not gonna be late. The market most likely is gonna be ranging right here, reversing right here at that level of a strong support at 0.97310. As you can see, the USD CHF is indeed going toward that level of a previous support, and most likely is gonna continue to fall for about 28 pips before we can start buying the pair. But of course, we need to explain first why it's a good signal. As we can see here, we are having a support trend line, another support trend line, and check this out. Indeed, we have here a support trend line, another support trend line, and the market has broken out from that level. And pay attention that it has also become a new resistance trend line for several attempts before the market finally breaks out from that level. And right here we can see the bullish breakout, and right here the market has created indeed a support trend line number 1. So therefore we can start buying the USD CHF again at the support trend line number 2, which means we can actually expect from the market to be ranging in that level of a previous support and a previous resistance as well. So meaning that's going to be the edge of the safe zone, which means it's going to be ranging for about 43 pips. Meanwhile, the take profit level has to be placed right here at the peak of the resistance at 0.98530. which means we are aiming 120 pips profit from this signal and an edge of safe zone for about 45 pips. As you can see, guys, I'm speaking fast because really I need to release this video very quickly. I don't want you guys to miss these signals, especially the USD CHF. It seems like it's going to be approached very soon. So buy at 0.97310 for the USD CHF and the take profit level at the peak of the resistance at 0.98530. That's everything for the USD CHF. Moving now to the gold. Okay. Oh my goodness, the gold. The gold has already reversed. Bummer. That I was going to send you the signal to sell the gold actually from here. Actually, no, from here. Exactly from here at that level of a resistance right here at 1724.13. Let me go to the 5-minute time frame. Yeah, that happened very fast. Check this out. Since I started recording the video, the market actually was somewhere here. I didn't actually expect from the market to move for about 61 pips until I reached the gold in my video. What a bummer. All right. Okay, let's see what we can do next with the gold. Yeah, that was actually a perfect level. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was exactly the level I was going to send you. Okay, so since it has already happened, all I can tell you is just hoping for the market to rise again till it reaches that level of a resistance right here at 1724 before we can start shorting it. And by the way, I forgot to mention how cool was this signal. The gold has reversed exactly from the level I have mentioned to start shorting last Saturday, and as we can see, it has went all the way to the take profit level, making 320 pips of profit. Again, guys, please let me know if you have made any profit from this signal. I will be very happy to know that. Anyway, let me just tell you something. I was actually going to send you the signal to start shorting the gold from that resistance at 1724.13. Now the gold seems like it has already reversed, but this price action makes me worried. This price action here appeared. It doesn't actually seem like the market is gonna respect that level and start the reversal right here. However, it's time now to use the trend lines to confirm our entries. So let me just get rid of all the old signals. And let's see now what we can do with the gold. Actually, first of all, we have to confirm the direction first. So we are having here a resistance trend line just like that. Perfect. Now the resistance trend line here tells us that the gold most likely, man, it's just gonna reverse exactly from what I'm mentioning. I'm trying to find a way to give you a higher entry for the gold, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the entry which I have already have is actually perfect. I don't think that the gold is going to be able to break out from that level of a resistance trend line. Okay, I just don't want to miss this signal, so anyway, I'm going to give it to you. Let me just tell you something. As I have mentioned earlier, the level of 1700 is very critical level for the gold. And pay attention also. In the past, 1700 was previously a real level of a support, and we had here a false breakout, which means the gold eventually going to continue the fall till it reaches that level of a real support. 1700 is another critical level. Usually the gold is facing critical levels at 1800, 1900, 1700 and so on. So once you say here 1700, meaning the gold might fall for about 233 pips, and after that we can start buying the gold. But however, as we can see, the gold has already started the bearish reversal. Let me just tell you something. The maximum where we can actually expect from the gold to go against our direction is gonna be at 1735.11. Because if that happens, meaning the market has actually managed to break out from that level of a support at 1724.13. We are actually depending on the pressure from that support and the real level of a resistance, which has been also respected right here. So meaning, if the gold has actually managed to break out from that level of a support, meaning it also broke out from that level of a resistance trend line, which means that the gold is going to continue the rise. But again, I doubt that this is going to happen, because we're having here a real level of a support, and most likely the gold is going toward that level of a support. So meaning, we can start shorting the gold, right, at 1724.13. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, the edge of the safe zone is going to be right here at 1735.11, which means the edge of the safe zone will be ranging for about 111 pips. Meanwhile, a take profit level at 1700 exactly 0.65, which means we are aiming approximately 235 pips profit from the signal. And I will do my best to keep you updated using the gold signals daily videos, and hopefully we will update you there, and hopefully, of course, we will catch all these signals. So until then, I hope that was informative to you, and I would like to thank you for watching.